Good morning. Happy Thursday. Just yeah, big day today. Lots going on. A little kind of up and down in the market. Did a little difference between TradFi and Bitcoin. We'll break it into it. Let me just see if we're working okay. Apologize yesterday. The stream, the software I used froze up like about 15, about 12 minutes into it. Could not get it started enough to save the stream. So I just went ahead and and torched everything basically. Um, interesting. Interesting. So I just deleted everything because it was frozen for like 5 or 8 minutes and never would restart in time, and then everything just crashed. So I just deleted it. So apologize for that. Yeah, interesting. The Nasdaq had been up about a third. Now it just went to negative. Dow still looking up 0.87. Market literally opens in 1 minute. S&P futures still up 0.2. So interesting. Little bit of a dip in the Nasdaq right at. Let's look at the 1 day. You can see Bitcoin. This is the 1 day. We're at 80,000 and we see it went all the way down to 78, 773. You can just see how horrible that looks. Officially down 0.2 for the day. Look to see how it's looking on the hourly here. Well, it's actually up on the hourly, so making its way back. I kind of thought if the TradFi markets opened up in the positive, so it is. Once again, if you're joining me, sorry about yesterday. The Restream software I had froze up. The software or my computer or something, I could not get it started. Even though we were in, I don't know if we were 12 minutes, 15 minutes into it. I just deleted everything so people wouldn't watch the recording and just sit there and frozen for 10 minutes. And normally I can get it restarted, shut down the software, open it up, it'll still be going, but it just didn't work. Ethereum, 2261, down 0.8 for the day. You can see the crazy looking up and down. Not surprising. I told everyone to strap in. Now, XRP kind of gone the other way. XRP up 0.9%. It's sitting at $1.45. Solana, biggest. Solana was leading for a couple of days. Hey, Scott, happy Thursday, my friend. Good space today. Scott runs the Heine Coin, Heine Community Space at 6:30 every morning. Good space. I'm usually on it. I'm always on it, but I'm usually prepping for this show. Yeah. Let's see what Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin. You know, when you look at it on the hourly, looks crazy on the crazy. But yeah, look, it looks like we took a little bit of a run. In fact, we did a few minutes ago. Looks like we touched 80, just slightly over 80. Yeah, trying to hold on to 80,000. We'll see. I kind of thought we'd pop back just because everything else is looking pretty positive, right? I didn't see a reason why crypto was kind of getting beaten down when we're seeing good news. We had Warsh officially confirmed yesterday as the Fed chairman. He was elected or confirmed on Monday as a Fed governor, and then officially yesterday. So that was big news. We have had nothing but bad economic news this week, so that could be part of the problem. So I think we've had bad economic news, and then nothing good happening. Nothing good happening with Iran. It's kind of on the back burner as if it's not happening. But look, I predicted this would be a super positive meeting in Beijing with Trump and everyone, and I think it's even more positive than we anticipated. So let's see if we can go back here and refresh, see how the future do. It's interesting the NASDAQ took that sudden drop at the last second, but everything else looks positive. We'll see how it actually opened 3 minutes ago. Oh, it's back. So NASDAQ positive 0.26, Dow 0.77, 0.3. You can see the headline there. Xi tells US CEOs that China will open. It was awesome. Tesla CEO Elon Musk said about his talks with Xi. He's going on a 2-day summit underway. And anyway, we'll talk about it. positive stuff, and that's not surprising that I anticipated Bitcoin would pop up. Yeah, we're just right there trying. Be nice if we could get over 80 and hold it. Like I say, we got all the way down on the daily, all the way down to 78,773. So up about 1,500 since then. So welcome everyone. Once again, apologize for yesterday. Software crashed about 12 minutes in. Could not save it. So I just basically dumped. I just deleted all the recordings. I didn't want people sitting there for 10 minutes of waiting for it to come back up. It was good. She came out yesterday. A lot of positivity in this meeting. Great welcome and everything. Like I say, one of the biggest business summits in history, really. But a lot of firepower there, a lot of star power there, economic power. But she said we should be rivals, not partners. That was one of his opening statements. Trump said he had a fantastic relationship. I watched after the first day recap. Trump went back through a lot of history, going back 250 years of U.S. and China. Real positive to show all the stuff we've done in the past together. I thought that was great. Even a few things, and I was a Chinese major in college, studied a lot about Chinese history, but there was even a lot of stuff he brought up I didn't know. Mentioned that President Xi and his wife would be coming out to the White House late September for a visit. Man, I'll tell you, you want to hope. There's so much to be gained. There's so much to be gained from, these two countries working together and not being rivals. I mean, maybe that's hopium. We'll see. We'll talk a little more about it, but off to a great start, as I thought it would be, and it's even a little more positive than I thought. Yesterday, 630 million in outflows from the ETFs, largest since January. Like I say, maybe we'll see a correction on that today. For whatever reason, market manipulation, reset, whatever. Crypto took a little bit of a hit yesterday. Senator Tim Scott put his laser eyes back on. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. A lot of times when people are bullish, they'll start throwing on the laser eyes. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it's backfired, but shows that he's bullish on Bitcoin. Of course, Clarity Act, the other huge news coming out today. They're voting on that any minute. Actually, in almost exactly an hour. Coinbase becomes the official USDC treasury deployer on Hyperliquid. Coinbase also requires rights to native markets, brand assets. So anyway, they're becoming much more involved with Hyperliquid. Hype, something you need to take a look at. I've been buying it, I don't know, well over a year, looking to actually stack more. By far the biggest DEX out there, the biggest, Perps Exchange. They have their own layer one, which I know there's projects on. I'm not that familiar with them, but anyway, good. Something you definitely ought to take a look at. Coinbase taking a more proactive, proactive part in that I think is bullish. I think there's like 5 billion of USDC on that platform, so it's pretty big. This is from Seth on X, just saying, look, this is by far one of the smartest chess moves a U.S. president can make. The power of the United States of America is far from being just weapons. Economic power, same can be said about China. So to bring these business, all these powerhouse, Tim Cook, Elon Musk, Jensen Huang, all these other guys from financial world. I mean, it's JP Morgan, BlackRock. I mean, come on, huge. I don't know, super bullish in my opinion. I expected it to be positive, but what I'm seeing is even more positive than I expected. And maybe it really helps heal some of these divisions we've had. Huge moment for crypto today. If this were to somehow pass and get done, I think we can see a crazy parabolic run. We're going to see. I know there's maybe it's my next slide here. Fidelity praised the Senate Banking Committee for advancing the Clarity Act, calling it a balanced framework that could provide long-awaited statutory clarity for digital asset markets. The firm says the legislation would benefit American investors, help maintain the U.S. position, global leader. Absolutely, all of this is true. This is just showing Fidelity how that's a massive financial giant throwing their hat in the ring, throwing their positive, basically giving it their stamp of approval. Now, Senator Loomis reveals bipartisan Senate talks over the 2 remaining Clarity Act issues ended the night without an agreement. So they stayed up late last night, but were not able to come to an agreement. Ultimately, we have an agreement on 99% of the bill. I hope my colleagues across the aisle will work with me to get the remaining 1% resolved after we pass this bill out of committee. Otherwise, if another FTX happens, we'll have no one to blame but ourselves. It has to happen. We reported yesterday, I guess you probably didn't see it unless you happened to be live, or maybe I didn't even get to it before the stream crashed. I can't remember, but once again, another apology for my software crashing yesterday, and we're only about 12 minutes into it. Couldn't resave the stream, so I just deleted everything. I hate to do that, but I didn't want someone to waste time by watching the recording and hit that 10 minutes of nothing before it finally ultimately crashed. But anyway, it was reported, I can't remember who it was, but they're just saying they're not going to be able to stop it. The banks, as much as they want to keep ripping us off like they have been forever, they're just not going to be able to stop it because there's just it's a major agenda item, so important for the U.S. dollar, U.S. Treasuries. Tether, I think, is the 5th or 6th largest buyer of U.S. Treasuries. We have USDC gaining ground, all these stable coins. Part of this is going to, say that they're going to have to own all these T-bills and stuff. So I think it passes, but anyway. Fidelity and BlackRock, their tokenized funds received Moody's highest rating. Moody's, the major global credit rating agency that gauges credit worthiness of governments, corporations, and bonds, has assigned its highest AAA rating to tokenized money market for Fidelity and International and BlackRock. So that's the Fidelity U.S. Digital Liquidity Fund, FILQ, BlackRock U.S. Digital Liquidity Fund, BUIDL. So getting good ranks from Moody's. So RWA is the future. Straits of Hormuz could be reopened soon. White House officials said U.S. and China agreed the Straits of Hormuz must remain open. So this is very bullish for markets, especially for China and the rest of the world, not so much for America. Of course, it's important overall for oil price. It affects the whole economy, and we've got big partnerships over there with the Gulf states and stuff like that. So it was, according to this report, it was agreed that they should not be closing or controlling the straits. It's international waters, should be unprecedented. Interesting from our guy, Jason A.I. Williams, who has a medical background, started hundreds of urgent care facilities and went to Yale Medical School. He said this, and he's been on my GM show a few times. We've talked about this exact topic: AI accuracy versus physician accuracy. Across 304 cases, Microsoft's AI diagnostic system was 4x more accurate than human physicians. So the AI was 85.5% accurate, human physicians 20%. So AI is, and he's already saying, because I believe he still dabbles and still has a few, or as restarters, and at least an investor in a few other type of medical facilities. I don't know what exactly they are, because I know he sold those others. But he said they're already using it to read scans and stuff like that. Especially, when as far as analyzing data, it's obvious. It's funny. I was asking AI, our guy Doc, who's always out here, buddy, from the trenches here on X, always hustling pool. And I'm like, hey, I was thinking, couldn't you wear like glasses or something and hustle that? And I asked AI if she could help me like cheat, win glass. She's like, absolutely. It's pretty prevalent, but she's like, there's no way the best chess players in the world can't even beat AI once, is what AI told me. I don't know if that's true or not. So they're literally people going to tournament wearing the glasses and getting the turns. But I mean, also the tournaments are analyzing it, and different websites, they're analyzing if your moves are too perfect. They know it's AI. So it's just crazy what AI is doing. But AI, another area you need to focus on. Strive, which is the company founded by Vivek Ramaswamy, they're aiming to be one of the biggest DATs and treasury companies. They just hit over 15,000 Bitcoin. They've added 7,300, so they've almost basically doubled since Q1 this year. Company announced the first ever U.S. listed stock to pay a daily cash dividend starting June 16th with a 13% annual rate. So they're pulling a sailor. They're going to pay daily and even a higher rate. So now that's despite posting a $265.9 million Q loss in Q1, but everyone did, right? Everyone did. Even Saylor, I think, was 5.2 or 5.7, and he's well in the billions, right? So there's different tax things. You have to report it too, and also sometimes for tax purposes. Hey, Coachmaster, GM Jim, hope your daughter had a great day at Disneyland the other day. I'm glad to see you join. Sorry if you tried to listen yesterday. My Restream software crashed on me. I was not able to save it. So sometimes I'll leave the partial stream, but there was like a 10-minute of dead spot. So I tanked it. I just deleted everything and couldn't do much else. But anyway, hope your daughter had a great time at Disneyland. I think all the memories I had, I used to, my dad had an office right by Disneyland, actually owned a hospital, a small, like 200-bed hospital called the Good Samaritan back in the day. But anyway, it was right there by Disneyland. So grew up in that neighborhood. So hope you had fun. I'm sure you did. Fun, great place. Unless you're the parent footing the bill for those $80 hot dogs. But anyway, hope you had a good time there. But so anyway, this is interesting. Yeah, interesting. Let's go check on Bitcoin, see how we're doing. We were trying to get over. Still can't get over. This is the daily. Look at the hourly. Looking good. What a nasty looking chart though, right? Hey. Oh, cool. So she had a blast. CoinZoom enjoyed the churros and popcorn. CoinZoom has a feature called Zoom Me. It's much like it works almost just like Venmo or Cash App, and you can send it. And since Coachmaster, loyal CoinZoom cardholder, sent over a few dollars so his daughter could buy something while she was there. So churros and popcorn. I went to a buffet last night and my wife had churro flavored ice cream. I didn't bother trying it. I've been eating ice cream less and less. I used to sit down to a whole quart, but yeah, I don't do near the ice cream I used to. But I'm glad you had fun, and I'm hoping to get more and more people using the CoinZoom card, earning cash back. I'm at 5%. Everyone, even with no staking at all, no Zoom coins at all, everyone earns 0.5%. And it's a debit card, so it's a great thing to be able to do. Okay, well, looks like we're wanting to get back up over there. Like Scott said, Bitcoin trying to get over 80,000. We're 79,875. So we'll see. We'll check back again when we're at the end here. Catch up. Strive paying 13%. And listen, make no mistake about it. Saylor loves this. He's helping these people figure it out. Because if you're the first in and then, he's just creating more demand, he loves it. He loves it when these guys do it. He loves it when, he's been laying the blueprint, hopes everyone does. He loves it when Metaplanet over in Japan does it. I'm sure he loves it when Vivek and his guys are doing it here. A little bit of competition, but ultimately he's the big dog who holds all the Bitcoin. So shout out to those guys. hear from our good friends, Crypto News Hunters. Here's kind of a breakdown. China wants more U.S. oil. I think that would be very critical. I think that would be great if we could actually getting U.S. buying more oil and a little more reliant, a little more of a partnership there. I would love to see that happen. That would be great. Amazing the world, thank you, Trump, for all the drill, baby, drill, and all the permitting and all the cutting back on regulation and stuff. So America can literally become a net exporter. Very, very strategically, very important. Nuclear, both agree Iran can never have nukes. Of course, that's great. Taiwan, a sticky subject. Xi warns it's the most important issue for future relations. Now, I lived in Taiwan for like 7 years. I don't know. I've been there 100 times. A lot of my best friends live there. 23 million people live there. Almost none of them. They all see themselves as Taiwanese, not Chinese. And Chinese. I mean, the split only happened in the 60s, right? So we're talking like 55 years ago. So it's not been that long. So of course, ethnically they relate and in that, but like nobody in Taiwan wants to go back, have any they like the relationship, they like going back and forth. They see themselves as Chinese, but none of them want to go back and be under the rule because they're a democracy, right? And an economic powerhouse. Keep in mind, they make 60% of the world's chips and 90% of the world's critical chips. So I don't think it's short term. It's more like don't say this, don't say that. It's very interesting, but it's not. They're not gonna. It's not as simple as like Hong Kong getting sent back. And no, I don't think anyone in Hong Kong's glad they got given back to China. We saw the protests a year or so, a few years ago, right? But listen, it's not happening. It's not happening. They're too big of a global economic force. There's too much at stake here. So it's more of a, I know they don't like to see America selling arms and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, Taiwan's teeny. You can fit like 9 of them in Arizona, right? Or 7 of them or something like that. It's a teeny little country. It's like 190 miles long and like 60 miles wide, and 95% of its mountains, it's uninhabitable. There's no challenge. I don't care what they have. There'd be no challenge. They could take it over in a day. But, obviously it's not going to happen, but it is a sticky situation. But I don't see anything eminently happening, especially with, there's too much economic power over there for them to do it. But anyway, interesting situation, but it is important. You have to be careful what you see. And I obviously don't like us selling all these arms and stuff to Taiwan, but I don't think it would make a bit of difference, to be honest with you, unless the U.S. steps up to protect them. Taiwan is not going to be able to protect itself. It's a teeny little country. It'd be like the U.S. fighting Hawaii. I mean, give me a break. Anyway, it's interesting. And then U.S. CEOs on the ground pitching massive new ties. So that's good. I'm telling you, like I say, you don't, because you don't want to get too optimistic, but it really would be better for both countries if they had more economic ties and it was a fair game, and there's much more to gain for everybody. So I agree with Xi's initial statement. We should be allies, not what did he say? No, here we go. We should be allies, and we should be partners, not rivals. That's what he said. So yeah, I agree. That's find where I'm at here. Oh, I'm still back here. Okay, here we are. I skipped these. Oh no, there we go. Okay, NVIDIA. Oh no, this is Brian Armstrong talking this morning on Maria. Clarity Vote Act. Today's vote on the Clarity Act is a big opportunity to move financial systems forward. Amen to that. NVIDIA passes China to be the second largest asset in the world, $552 trillion. Of course, Jensen Huang's over there meeting with Xi. Hey, Mr. Heine, GM, still out there in Miami. South Beach, I see, looks freaking awesome. Loving those morning videos. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said meeting in China went excellent, following what was one of the most concentrated assemblies of American corporate capital ever hosted inside the Chinese government building. This is an historic deal, man. Historic deal. So I think I thought it'd be positive. It seems even more positive. Microsoft drops $100 billion on open AI partnership. Scott Bessent said U.S. and China, the two AI superpowers, will begin talks on AI protocol. That's going to be very important. So listen, check back and see how the markets are doing. Look at the traditional market, see if there's any change there. Oh, I didn't go over the economic data. I must have missed that slide. I've got it written down here. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, U.S. initial jobless claims, 221 actual, 205 expected. So like 14,000 more or 16,000 more jobless claims than anticipated, 200,000 previous. So not good economic news, right? All the news economically has been bad. But yeah, NASDAQ positive 0.32, Dow positive 0.54, S&P 0.38, Bitcoin still just holding right under that 80,000. We'll see if we can get it. But listen, crazy week. We're coming to the end of a crazy week. Recap everything. We've got a new Bitcoin, the first ever person to hold Bitcoin now took over the Fed, officially announced. We have bad economic data. All the economic data was worse than anticipated, worse than projected, but not surprising based on the fact that with everything going on with oil and all that, a little closer, 79,935 Bitcoin. And now we have this positive with Xi and the summit. I think it's going to be good news. And I think we go into the weekend positive. And look, we either kind of grind up, grind down. Obviously, the Clarity Act, the big unknown today. If that passes, I think we literally go parabolic. If it gets kick the can down the road, but positive, that's really what we're looking at. I think we're going to have positive news. And then we've got the war on the back burner. But I think the Clarity Act's the biggest catalyst. And I'm going to predict positive, nothing but positive news out of China. Can we get that Clarity Act advanced or some positive stuff behind that? That's really what's going to happen. We'll be back tomorrow to cap up the week. Thanks for everyone. Again, apologies for yesterday stream getting nuked. Thanks for being here today. Feel free to join me over on the GM Bitcoin show starting here in about 4 or 5 minutes. And thanks, everyone. Have a great Thursday. Touch some grass, have fun. Went hiking Tuesday. Did some stuff with my wife yesterday. Be out hiking again today. Get out and touch some grass. Enjoy yourself. And let's see what happens. I think overall, way more positive than negative, especially long-term good stuff. So have a great day, everybody. And we'll see everyone.